What's up, Shashank? What up? What up? What up?
Hey man,
What are you up to?
hi.
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing.
What are your plans
I'm
for the
feeling
day?
good.
Yeah? It's Valentine's Day, your favorite day of the year. What
I
are your
mean,
plans?
technically, the day we are recording is Valentine's Day, but the day it goes
Exactly.
out, it'll be,
I know.
it'll
I know.
be
Yeah,
someday else.
I know.
So yeah. So
No
if I'm
problem.
recording a podcast with you on Valentine's Day, you know the answer for that. So yeah.
It's okay, man. You love me. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah.
Okay. For people listening, this is not true.
So what's our topic about today? Since today is Valentine's Day, I mean, at least the day we are recording is Valentine's Day.
Hmm.
So what's our topic for the day? Actually, February is a Valentine's month, so whenever this will release, it will still be February.
Yeah.
So
Why not? Like take the whole year. Every
that's
year.
no, we're just taking February. We're just taking February. So what's your topic in your mind for the Valentine's
Uh,
month?
So, in simple terms, we can talk about how brands use love as a method or tool to increase brand awareness.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So, what
Perfect.
do you have to say?
I mean, I can talk about like this thing was that like how love and branding has a lot of relations. I mean,
Hmm.
that's something like I mean, if you think about it, uh,
Hmm.
like the first like let's start with the first thing, right? When you meet a person, like when you see the person for the first time, the first impression that you get out of them, that should be striking. Like I mean, that's when you're like, oh fuck, the first time I saw this person, I just fell in love. You have all those Bollywood songs also on that. So similarly, like I think brands also, when they like I mean, they need to make an amazing first impression, right? Only then people will also want to like, I don't know, buy from them or like be involved with them or even become like true loyal fans of them, right?
Hmm.
What are your thoughts?
So, yeah, one thing before we start, I have to mention. So, like the way you see in Bollywood movies, like music going on, bells ringing, that doesn't happen in real life. Get over it if you are
Maybe, man.
planning on
Like
it.
I see a brand, I see a kick-ass packaging, like Nirmala is packaging, and I'm like, la la la
Uh,
la
Say whatever you want, it doesn't exist in real life.
la.
Okay. So that's the answer to your question. And moving on, yeah, see, once again, not just Valentine's Day, any
Uh,
single special occasion that like basically the entire country or the world celebrates, brands find it as a way to help them market themselves better. Okay,
mhm,
say for example, see, right now, as you mentioned, one thing, like people become fans of brand.
mhm,
So there's a difference between becoming a customer to the brand. There's a difference between becoming a marketer for the brand. There's a difference between becoming a fan of the brand.
mhm.
So see, like 15, 20 years ago, people used to be fans of sports teams and stuff. But
Yeah.
right now, if you see, there are people who are fans of companies.
Mhm, mhm.
So marketing has come to a level where, see, let's just ignore love for a couple of seconds. Okay,
Yeah.
so marketing right now has come to a level where people are fan of companies that do something that they don't even use.
Hmm.
Right. So say for example, so let's take Apple for example. So this is one of the most common examples any person can ever give, because see, even without having Apple products, we can see people marketing them,
Yeah.
bec- uh, being true fans of them. So
Mhm.
this is something that every brand strives to achieve. Even okay, so personally, you might not be a customer for any single brand, but you would love the way of marketing that they
Of
use
course.
actually. Yeah.
Nike, for example.
Nike. So
Mm.
I don't own a single Nike product yet. I love Nike.
Mhm.
Even though, okay, so one thing, if you ask, a lot of athletes and everything, they'll give you an answer saying if Adidas or Nike is better, you will say Adidas is better. Like people who use like for a lot of wear and tear and everything, a lot of people say Adidas is better. Okay,
Mhm.
but Nike has that brand image. Nike has that greatness also associated with it.
Yeah.
You think about Nike, you think about that greatness and everything. So right now, you become a fan of Nike more than just being to wanting to be a customer for Nike. So
Mhm.
that's something every brand is trying to do right now. And with Valentine's Day and everything, these brands, they want to make sure they stand out from the crowd. So
Yeah.
there's so much pressure, just like how February 14th used to be, so much pressure for just couples to make that day special. Right now, brands are feeling the same pressure too. So people are running contests, people are doing giveaways, people are doing all sort of catchy lines and everything. I don't know what Durex is doing. If you go, Durex will obviously have some amazing catchphrase,
Yeah.
something like saying "Don't have a kid, use us" or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is always there. Okay.
Mm.
Like talking about how love is related to the brand and everything. See,
I mean, like, what can people learn from like relationships and this thing branding? That's an article that even I also read, and that's why I brought up stay in like, I mean, first thing itself, right? Like, I mean, making the first impression, and what you said also makes a lot of sense. Like, I mean, people, you need to stand out. That's a great way to like even differentiate yourself. Like, why do you even remember the most iconic brands? Like, say, why do you remember Burger King when there's a Burger King and McDonald's world? Because they stood out and they attacked, right? So, I
Yeah.
mean, created a amazing first impression by like just standing out. Like, I mean, the reason why before I even ate from Burger King, the reason why I liked Burger King was because of the attack and banter that they had with this thing. They stood out that way, right?
Yeah, don't eat from a king, not from the clown. So something
Yeah.
like that. I remember.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the exact words, but this was the context. They directly attacked McDonald's and everything. So see, all these brands, all they're trying to do is, like, if a brand wants you to love them, they have to do certain things. First of all, they have to feel committed to you. They
Yeah.
have to feel you have to be consistent. You have to maintain the same kind of personality that
Consistently
you
being in
always do.
touch with
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
consistently being in touch with you. See, it's not just about making 10 Instagram posts a day, or 20 tweets a day or something. See,
Yeah.
brands have to feel connected with you. So love is something that you can't express. See, love is not just with your partner. Love is everywhere. To take for example, like, even take Oreo for example. So you see that Oreo recently launched Oreo cookies inside Tamil Nadu for Tala Talapati, for both Ajit and Vijay. For the actors, they started launching Oreo cookies for this Pongal. They launched Oreo cookies with Tala Talapati. So
Yeah.
this is something. This is pakka customization to a few crore people, like 6-7
Yeah.
crore people inside Tamil
Yeah.
Nadu. So they are
Getting
willing
you
to
to
do that.
like relatability,
Yes.
invoke relatability, invoke like,
Mm.
yeah, you are among us and like, and everything like that. And like, you're targeting it in the right way.
And once again, a lot of brands do these things. Okay, whenever you think about love, you think about Valentine's, they want their name to be the first thing that pops in your head. So that is something all these
Creating a
brands
brand
try to
recall.
do. Yeah,
Yeah.
brand recall. Yeah. So whenever
For
you think about
example,
a happy life,
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, so as you were saying, like for example, if you think about greatness, it's Nike.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't exactly remember what one brand is related to Valentine, but whenever you say love or something, Dairy Milk obviously strikes a name to me. So because Dairy Milk is usually always about couples, like a couple of people who want to who want to become couples. So it's about sharing love and everything. So Dairy Milk nails that properly. Whenever you want to propose and everything, see, you've seen it in a ton of movies. You want to propose, you get a Dairy Milk and a rose. I don't know if it's that the same way in entirely across the country, but in Tamil Nadu, it's definitely that. Any
Yeah.
single college student wants to propose to his girlfriend, he'll get a Dairy Milk, one greeting card, one rose.
Yeah.
He'll go stand there. So
So the
Dairy Milk has
brand
that.
becomes
Yeah.
synonymous with
Ah.
the event and everything. Like,
Yes.
I mean, okay, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, like if you think about it, there are so many other events, right? Like, I mean, if you think about it, they like, I mean, if this event is there, you need to have this particular brand. I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to
Hmm.
get another option. Yeah, and it's crazy how like, I mean, they do that. Like, I mean, how they establish that relationship with
Hmm.
the consumers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And once again, why brands try to, relate to certain festivals or certain topics or certain celebration kind of things is because, see, it is easier for people to recall them in a particular emotion that they, keep facing on a regular basis. So that will obviously be, their first choice when they face that particular situation. So
Mhm.
whenever you want to propose, I don't think any South Indian will go for any other chocolate apart from Dairy Milk, unless he knows for a fact that the girl or boy likes
Yeah.
another company. He'll definitely
Munch.
go for Dairy Milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Munch, yeah, you are the only stupid person on earth who eats Munch. I think Munch
I
is,
don't eat
I
munch.
don't,
I eat Kit
yeah,
Kat. Yeah, I like Kit Kat.
yeah. See, even Kit Kat, like, it talks about sharing and
Big.
caring, but even with Kit
Big.
Kat and Dairy Milk fighting, so you can see Dairy Milk is the clear winner here. I don't
Mm.
know, this is just my one man's opinion, but I see Dairy Milk is, a widely accepted choice for all these people. So
Mm.
when it comes to love and everything, certain brands definitely nail it. And even you take like Zomato, Swiggy, and all these delivery apps, for example, they even though they're just delivering food, they associate food to love. So
Okay.
give gift a meal to your loved one, stuff like that. what these people are doing. But there are few brands that doesn't take part in this. So Apple tried so much this year to become like gift your Valentine your iPhone, and people are not going to give Valentines their iPhone. That is no way happening. Yeah. The people are even hesitant to give their fiance's iPhone. So there is a difference between, because of the costing issue. That's the only thing, nothing more.
Yeah.
Okay. If Apple, let's say for example, you submit proof to Apple and Apple can give you 50% discount if you're buying that for your Valentine, then good. That is a valid point, but that is not happening. I don't see that happening
Not gonna
anytime
happen.
soon.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
everybody will become everyone's Valentine today.
Yeah, everyone literally will have a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Apple can make that happen. Yeah.
Apple can make that happen. Nice way. I
Yeah.
wanted to do something savage and do mic drop, but this became from savage to very romantic. I held this kind of mic so that I can do a
Yeah.
mic drop, but
Yeah.
unfortunately I'll have to wait for some time.
So what, like, tell me about this. Like, what else do you think? Like, I mean, say, what I read was like one particular thing that brands can do, like, and brands can learn from other brands doing, and which is also related to relationships and everything, is like creating rituals and renewing faith, right? Like, for example, like, say, this is something that people, that Harley Davidson and Royal Enfield does. They have these, I don't know what the cadence is, but they have these regular rides with their with their club, and like going to places and everything. So such kind of rituals make you, like, I mean, like, again, go and like build that same feeling that you had with the brand. Oh yeah, build that connect, build that ritual. And it's also a great way to stay in touch with your customers, so that like you establish that recall that, hey, remember me, I'm here, I'm still here, like that. Yeah, shit,
Yeah.
like that.
See, yeah, this thing, what you mentioned, like rituals and everything, even though there is Harley Davidson and see, Royal Enfield talks about taking a long ride with your loved ones and everything. But see, most of the time these rituals are synonyms with the food brands. Food brands. I don't know why the article didn't mention that, but these rituals are more predominant with the food brands. You take Dairy Milk, it'll talk about gifting it to a girlfriend. If you take Kit Kat, it'll talk about sharing. Take a break, sharing. Okay. If you take Oreo, twist lick dunk, so it'll have its own variation. So if you take Maggie, 2 minutes Mary Maggie, like gifting, doing Maggie for your family or your son or something. So Maggie is always about, whenever you make Maggie for someone, it feels like you are caring for them.
Yeah.
So but to be honest, Maggie is the least effort food anyone can do for anyone else. Right. But still Maggie portraits is at a way, like if you're doing Maggie for someone, if you're doing Maggie for someone, it seems like you're deeply caring for them. So that's the way Maggie is trying to portray itself. But yeah, once again, it is working. And all these brands, what they're doing is, like building as I said before, building a relationship and a ritual with the customer that they're trying to, take it forever. So once again, see, this is even a win-win for the brand. Even for, say, for example, if Dairy Milk is having a certain ritual and people buy Kit Kat and yet do the Dairy Milk ritual, it feels like there is a Dairy Milk is having a share in their in people's hearts and everything. So I was about to write a newsletter on this week. So this week newsletter will probably on this. I was talking about when companies are talking about market share and everything. I want to talk about mind share. So which brand holds the most of your mind share and everything? Because see, it's different from a market share and mind share, because a lot of startups focus a lot on mind share. You take Credit, Zomato, all these examples, even though they are making huge losses and everything, they'll have a greater mind share than companies that are making profits. Right. So this is something I wanted to write about, but you have to wait for that. I'm not giving it away.
Okay, all right. Yeah, don't give it away. But otherwise, like, what else do you think that brands can do to establish that relationship with their customers, according to you?
So see, whatever we told right now is a good way to establish relationship with your customer. So one thing is to be consistent, loyal, and keep in regular touch with them. Right. So see, it's not just about giving discounts, coupons, and everything. It is about making them feel that they own a part of the brand. So see, it starts very simple. Okay, whenever you buy an Apple phone, this used to happen before, but it doesn't now. Apple used to give you stickers, Apple stickers.
Yeah.
I don't know why Apple started doing that, but people proudly stick those Apple stickers in cars. See, that car is more like 10 times more expensive than the iPhone they got, but yet they take that Apple sticker and stick it on their car. They show that they are a proud Apple user.
Yeah.
And right now, Indian brand, this boat headsets, they tried doing that. I don't know if people are using their stickers or not, but I don't see it. I haven't seen anyone using that boat head, that sticker. But yeah, see, Apple tried to do that. So this is about like you feel proud, you feel that you're owning something bigger than yourself, you're a part of something bigger than yourself.
Mhm.
And every brand strives to do that. Even with the coffee and everything, even when you spoke about our coffee brand and everything, we
Mhm.
try to do this where we'll have the name of the customer that is on top of the
Mhm.
lid, so that like because we targeted, you know, people who are 20 22 to 20, 30 and everything,
Mhm.
mostly people who are living alone, away from their family, or living with their friends. If you're living with your friends, there's a very less likely chance people will call you by name.
Yeah.
Mostly it's macha, mama, like how you do, dude, bro. It's that
Mhm.
way only. So it's very less likely chance people call you by name. So whenever there is a coffee bottle early in the morning, like 6 o'clock, when you're opening to make a coffee, if it says hello Rakshit, you will
Mhm.
feel welcome, you will feel loved.
Yeah.
So that is an extra effort for the coffee. So that is a loss we are taking, but still that makes us, you know, that gives us more brand retention.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a line by Dale Carnegie, right? Like in his book
Mm.
called How to Make Friends and Influence People, and that it's written the best sound
You read
to
that?
a man's, yeah, the best sound to a man's ear is his own name, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
that's an amazing line, and that
Mm.
translates that out here as well. Like, I mean,
Yes.
if you when you're talking to someone new, or like if
Mm.
you're speaking with someone, if you use a name,
Mm.
you can
Mm.
establish, you can like say, if you are my if you're in a meeting and you're not even paying attention,
Mm.
suddenly someone says Shashank, like randomly
Yeah.
in a conversation, you look up and you be like, oh
Uh.
shit, yeah, what's the point about, right? Because
Yeah.
you have that thing. And yeah, that
Mm.
makes sense. Like, I mean, personalizing your
Mm.
products and everything for your customers is, it's a lot of work, but if
Mm.
done right, it can be a game changer for any brand, right?
Mm.
Not just like email, in the email adding your name, but
Ah, yeah,
more,
that
but
is.
be understanding. I mean, you'll need, again, like, will the question will be about getting data and everything, but at least like little personal, like slight amount of personalization for your
Mm.
customers will go a long way.
See, once again, remember what Coke did? They put
Yeah,
like
yeah,
very
yeah.
generic names to all
The
those
name
can bottles.
to
Yeah,
the bottles.
yeah,
Yeah,
bottles and
yeah,
everything. So very generic name, and then they started installing vending machines. If you go tell your name to the vending machine, it will give you a
yeah,
printed
yeah,
Coke
yeah.
bottle and everything. See, this is obviously a very good way, but one thing that I like to mention is, even though we started with love and everything, so the reason why we got here is because, see, love is personal to every single human. So
Mhm.
your definition of love differs from mine. So whenever a brand tries to, you know, fulfill that definition that I have in mind, it is a
Mhm.
success for the bro. It is a success for the brand, and I would feel like a very loved person from the brand's point of view,
Yeah.
right? See, once again, the reason why we don't love bankers and all these credit cards and everything is because they call you irritating. They don't even know who you are. They
You
call you
know,
and
I
start
have a
irritating
very
you.
funny
Yeah.
story on that today. Today this happened. Like, so Tata Capital, some person called me. Okay, like, I mean, some
Okay.
spam call. I picked it up because it not show junk or spam on my phone. I picked it up. They're like, "Oh, am I speaking to Rakshit?" I said, "No, you're not." They're like, then who am I speaking to? I said, I'm Ram." Then who is Rakshit your cousin, relative, or friend or something? I told, no, I don't know who Rakshit is. They're like, "Oh, sorry, sir," and they cut the call.
Okay. Why did you do that?
Because I don't want to get into all this thing bullshit, like all these insurance and all those things. But I
Okay.
just want to fuck around. I was in the mood. Like, they called me, like, "Are you Rakshit?" Randomly I got an idea. Like, let's fuck around. I'm like, "No, I'm not Rakshit. I am Ram." Oh man.
So actually, if you had the mic, you had to do the mic drop. So that
Yeah.
was a mic drop moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, but still, once again, so this is what happens to lone losers on Valentine's Day who doesn't have anything better to do. So yeah, you have to live
Yeah,
with
they
it.
fuck around with teleprompters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
teleprompters and
Yeah.
people who
Yeah.
are already who are already living a sad life working in the BPO. You are fucking around with people who are doing that. So
Yeah.
this is not some lesson
Don't
that
make me
people
feel
should learn
bad
from you.
now, Rida.
I
Fuck.
will make you feel bad. What you did is wrong. You have told them, you should have told them properly, saying that I'm not interested in talking to you. Can you please hang up the phone?
Yeah.
That's what you should have told. Okay. But yeah, moving on.
It's okay. I'm Ram. I'm not Rakshit. Yeah. And
Whatever the
yeah.
fuck. Okay, Ram.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Now, like, I mean, before we end, like, what are your closing thoughts? What are your thoughts in mind? Like, what do brands need to do to establish themselves as their customers love?
See, be relatable, be loyal. I'll keep repeating this again. Be relatable, be loyal, be consistent.
Hmm.
Make sure you care for them, actually care for them.
Yeah.
And once again, buy me a dairy milk.
Yeah, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
buy a brand if you're listening to him, buy him a dairy milk and you'll
Bro,
be.
I asked you. No brand is gonna
Oh,
buy me
asking
dairy
me.
milk. I asked you.
Oh shit. Okay. But yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk about that later. But yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, I would also suggest the same thing. I would say that, like, say, as we discussed in the in the this thing podcast, like personalization and start like right from the start, making standing out and and basically, like as you mentioned, like caring for your customers and understanding their needs and like pain points and everything, and making your products and making a messaging for them, and also like tweaking your products to serve your customers will go a long way, right?
Hmm.
This is
Yeah.
something that I would say. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like as relationships, compromise needs to happen. Like, if your customers don't like something, fucking leave it. And if they don't, if they, yeah, and they should also accept you for who you
Hmm.
are. Fuck, whatever
Yes.
we're doing. Like, are we fucking being all gyani about relationships now? We should start a new podcast. Yeah.
So basically, I know why you wanted to record a podcast today. You had to vent somewhere that you don't have a Valentine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can understand
Sad.
from. So this is the most you've cursed ever in a hopefully marketing podcast combined. So
Yeah.
I will give that. So this is just Rakshit venting out the fact that he doesn't have a Valentine this year, and if someone is looking for an eligible bachelor, Rakshit is available at Rakshit Ravindra.
I'm not showing you a middle finger. I'm showing you, but
This
you
is
understand
very
what
this
I'm
is very
showing.
unprofessional. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
very
No,
unprofessional.
this is just me showing my ring fingers to you. Yeah. Nothing
Yeah.
else.
So yeah, he wants to get married. Yeah, see that's the ring finger there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
On that
So
note, we end the
we
you
end
end the
the
podcast.
podcast.
Hopefully
This was not a very nice episode, I know, but yeah, we are going with this. So if you want to find a single man eligible bachelor, Rakshit is available at
please.
rakshitravindranathan.com, and I am available at shashank.com, and I don't want to participate in this your little experiment. But
See
yeah,
you on
see
the
you
next
guys soon. We are available at Brew Your Market and all socials. Bye bye.
podcast. Bye bye.